Hello, everybody. It's Happy Wednesday it's Happy Tuesday for me. I am really tired. Oh my gosh. So last week was supposed to be I put in a 34-mile week, even though I knew my whole week last week was going to get completely wacko. So this is week 4 update. That would run through the 31st through the 6th for me. Monday to Sunday. And did a F45 workout, which was really cool. I liked really picking up the squat, pick up the dead ball, and we got to huck it over our backs this time, turn around, squat, pick up the dead ball. That was pretty fun. I did 3 800 repeats. Yeah, that was hard. I tried to go for right around the 8, give or take an 8-minute mile. Most of them I hit like 750 to 810, somewhere in that vicinity for most of the 800. Yeah, that's getting hard. The third one really hasn't gotten any easier yet, and I changed this coming week. It was my last week of those, so this was anyway, that's this week. I'm talking about last week. Did 35 minutes of stairs. The other week, did 5-minute warm up on the treadmill, and then did 35 minutes on the stairs. I varied it from 8 to 12. So it was like 8 down to 5 for a couple of minutes, up to 10, down to 5, up to 10, down to 5, something like that for 35 minutes, just to give me something different. I think I squeezed in like 1,200 feet of elevation or climb, whatever they call it, which I felt pretty good about. It wasn't as bad as I thought. I can feel my glutes getting stronger and the hip joint, that muscle group that you need to do that, feeling a bunch stronger. The recovery was pretty quick the next day, so I really enjoyed that part of it. So I liked the feeling of that. We got a massage on Wednesday. On Thursday. Good grief. Got a massage Thursday because ahead of our long, weird, crazy weekend, which we're about to get to, massages are absolutely wonderful. Find yourself a good sports, running specific kind of sports therapy massage person. Grab yourself one of those every now and again. I like to do it when I have like a big week. I try to do one like 3 times during my cycle, like right after my big week. I'll give myself 3-4 days to let all the swelling go down and everything get adjusted after my monster week, and then I'll go get a massage before my event to kind of let everything, get stuff worked out and whatnot. And then ran Friday. We went out to Umstead State Park. It was the Umstead 100 this weekend. We have a longtime friend of ours, Robert Long. He is 74 years old and truly an amazing athlete. I look forward to turning 74 and hopefully being half the athlete that he is. His amazing wife, who is, I believe, she's younger than he is at any rate, did it last year. When I ran it last year, she finished 29 something and some change, 8:28, something like that, 31. And he decided he wanted to do it. So he embarked on this long personal training, exercise, sports related yoga, couple of massages, and just stuck with the routine from a friend of ours who's a coach, Rachel Bell Kelly. She works with Zenith Coaching, I think. I'll give her a shout out because she's helped several of my friends and has really done well connecting each of their personal needs to their event, whether it be 100, a marathon, half marathon, whatnot. He followed her plan to a T. I believe he missed 2 runs, he said, over the whole thing. So we ran 6.5 miles. It was the first 90-degree day on Friday. We haven't had one since probably September, maybe October last year. It was absolutely terrible. We ran 6.5 miles on the course, which is wide, road like bridle trail, rolly hills and whatnot. It was absolutely disgusting when we ran it late in the afternoon. It was the heat of the day, so fault's on us, but we wanted to get a feeling what it felt like for tomorrow, the event, which was going to be on Saturday. Stayed at a friend's house near there. Woke up at 4 a.m. Rick got down there, did all the hiking back and forth to the vehicle to get to the cruise setup spot that we had. We had all sorts of family, all sorts of friends. Started the race, it got up to 86 degrees, partly sunny, partly cloudy, on and off wind in the afternoon. Cooled off to a balmy 66, I believe, overnight. Relative humidity I believe we stayed in the low 50s. So not the worst conditions, but it wreaked havoc on everybody out there. I mean, crew included. We just had a hard time. You're always doing something, whether you're feeding yourself, taking care of somebody else next to you, helping out another bit of crew, trying to hydrate yourself, feed yourselves, get ready for the next lap, stay up with your runners on their timing. Tried to go to sleep at about 12:30 after we got them out for a lap, and I was to pace at around 2:30 to 3 o'clock. Right? Yeah, 3 o'clock. And so I had to be back up at 2 o'clock to get myself ready, get all the kit ready for him to come back in. So I laid down in the van maybe an hour. I might have dozed off a little bit. Back up to it, down there, got the crew station all set up, reorganized everything that we'd need for our lap, adjusted the pace charts for everything, and away we went. Had a beautiful lap in the weeest of hours of the morning. Got to turn off our headlamps with a mile and a half to go. Yeah, about a mile and a half. No, almost 2 miles to go, I mean. Absolutely beautiful evening out. He did spectacular. More family friends came out. This guy had an incredible cast of characters coming out for him to run and crew with him and to just cheer him on. His daughter from New York came down, totally unannounced. He had no clue. That was brilliant. He finished at 28-24, one of the now 674-year-olds who finished this race. The oldest finisher is 74, 6 of them. It's crazy town. So I wound up running 12 miles and probably hiked another 10 on Saturday, and then hiked probably another 10, including my time up and out with him on Sunday morning. I figured it was about a 58-mile week, and I am exhausted. I took yesterday off because screw doing anything when you're that exhausted. Just, it wasn't worth it to my body. So here we are, tired and enthralled and thrilled about somebody doing 100 miles that you really closely know and that you've worked with. And myself and my wife, Jen, were asked to be crew chiefs for it and organize the crew and everybody else. He picked out some great pacers. We got a great pacing plan down and a great skill set together, rubbing our heads at how to make him do it. So it was fun to get all that stuff like revamped in your head on how to do hundreds and what plans are, and that the plan that he had was different than a plan that I had, you know, a plan that lots of people had, and a lot of people's plans changed because of that heat. Lap 1 and 2, they went out like they were doing their planned event, and lap 3, man, it was worse carnage during lap 3 and 4 in the med center and the medical staff than it was at like what you normally think, you know, around midnight to 5 a.m. kind of during 100. It was dead quiet in there because everybody just had to slow down so much that it kept them in the game to finish. But most people were 2, 3, probably 4 hours off a lot of their times. Our guy stayed directly on pace. He was an hour ahead of our planned schedule, which was great. It meant he slowed down exactly how we asked him to. The best thing he said on the whole weekend about his event was during lap 1, he came back and said it was so hard to run a 14-minute mile. Right then we knew that he bought in to go very, very, very slow during the first half of this and then maintain what you can later on. It was so good to hear him say that, and so reassuring that, you know, going slow, what a lot of people consider slow, you know, 14 minutes miles, just a lot of people seems like, oh my gosh, you should be doing that in your first, you know, 50 miles or whatever. But one, it was so hot, it kept him from overheating and allowed his body to do all those things. And two, you just saved all that energy for later. And he was almost consistent lap 5 times the rest of the event, which gained him back that hour of time. So it was really good to see like speed and just some of the details he got. One of the fun things that we learned, we kept like telling him you need to remember to do salt tabs and everything else. We told him how many he had to have each lap, and he had a Ziploc bag with 10 in it. So we knew exactly how many were there. And when he came back, either he took them or he chucked them out on the course. We don't know. We're going with it. He took them. He came back almost every time with the right amount, except for lap 3 during the heat of the day. He forgot because he was wearing his headphones. You know, he needed that more than 3 or 4 more salt tabs, I guess. So that was a pretty good thing to have the salt tabs right there. He also prepackaged all of his food that he wanted to have, well, planned to have during each of these 8 laps. So we could just grab the bag, have it all laid out. Lap 4, he decided he no longer could do like honey stinger waffle things. So we took those all out of his bag and we got them scheduled with some other food. So it's real fun to be part of a crew and feel the dynamic of the crew with a coach, other people who've done hundreds. We had one person who had never been involved in like 100 scenario before come out and pace with a friend of ours. So he got to experience the whole like crew setup scenario that was going on. Just phenomenal. And his wife was there the whole time, which was crazy great. You know, she got to see everything just like he did last year. So super fun. You know, 15 more weeks to go, people. 15. It seems insane. I'm not going to get one of the coolers that they posted on their Instagram thing. I really wish at some point a lot of races, instead of 1, 2, 3, you know, the winners always get something. Hey, throw the mid-pack people a bone. Just pick a mid-pack reason to give somebody some rando prize from one of your things. The person who comes in 50th place. The person who randomly comes the closest to the top of an hour after 24 hours. But don't tell anybody, but that's what you got. Just figure something out for us mid-packers. That'd be great. I'd love to win a cooler, a pair of $150, $200 pair of shoes, Come on, we're here too. Love the swag bag, but I'd love to randomly get a prize because I just did my thing and did it well. Anyhow, that's just me. What are your thoughts on that? How do you feel about rolling through some footage on YouTube's and seeing other people's videos on how their races go and whatnot? Let's have another good week. Cool temperatures around here, finally. Just moderate. It's going to be beautiful all week. Going to the beach this weekend. So, changing around all my runs this week. So, have a good week. Enjoy yourselves. Peace out, people. Bye.